What is going on, YouTube land? I am Chris Catalunya. Before we get into the shoe review, go ahead and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And we are hitting it really close to that 10,000 subscriber mark here on this YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. If you're subscribed already, if you're not, you definitely will want to, because once we hit 10K, I'm gonna give away a Supreme Floral Skateboard Deck and a Supreme Super Soaker. So subscribe to the channel. Now, earlier this year, back in May 2019, Nike and Sakai, they teamed up to release two sets of the Sakai Blazers and two sets of the Sacai LD Waffles. And it's really crazy to see that several months out from that shoe's release, that those shoes still have a high resale value. Again, the first iteration of shoes released in May 2019. 3 to 4 months later, September 2019, we have another group of Sacai LD Waffles set to release and for the general public to pretty much fight over. This third quarter release featured 3 different colorways. You have the white and gray colorway, you have the Barney colorway, and you have this one that I have in my hand, the black and white colorway. Before we get into the specifics of the Sacai LD Waffles, let's talk a little history about Sakai from the get-go, which is a Japanese luxury brand founded by Chitose Abe. Abe grew up in Japan and her mother was a seamstress, so it only made sense for Abe to take on the role of a pattern cutter. Now later down the line, she became a pattern cutter for Comme des Garçons. After that, later in her career, she started to work under Junya Watanabe, who is a creative mastermind at Comme des Garçons, and he still currently works at Comme des Garçons. Abe started the Sakai brand in 1999, and while Sakai is listed as a luxury brand, it is more like a streetwear meets casual wear, and it is pretty fitting, especially when you look at the shoe. Her brand really is exemplified in the shoe. The Nike Sacai LD Waffles were made available to Tier 0 accounts across the nation and the world, and it was also made available via the Sneakers app. Now, if you were one of the people that were trying to go for this shoe and the other two colorways via the Sneakers app, you know how much of a shit show the Sneakers app was today. Some people were able to put in their entry for a drawing today, and a lot of other people, they weren't able to. They just got that spinning death wheel. On my iPhone, I was able to make entries across the board for all 3 colorways. On my Android and my computer, I couldn't even log on to the Sneakers app. But it doesn't matter because on the iPhone, I took L's across the board. Luckily, I was able to cop this shoe at SneakerPolitics Shakeback Sunday event that was hosted about 2 months ago, because this shoe wasn't actually supposed to release in September 2019. It was supposed to release a while ago. Today being the release date, I was able to pick them up. Now, these shoes retail at a price point of $160 USD at your tax and your VAT, just based on where you reside. Looking at the resale market right now, looking at StockX, looking at GOAT, depending on the size that you need, the resale on this shoe is kind of crazy right now. The bigger sizes are going anywhere between $400 and $500. The smaller sizes, like this 8.5 here, is going anywhere between $600 and $750 USD. Pretty steep. Upon making this purchase, we are presented with this glossy orange box. There's like Nike imprint right here. You might not be able to see it. It looks kind of invisible. At the front, we have the sizing label done up in black with a QR code and some OG Nike branding on the side of the boxes. Now, this is a pull-out box, so you lift up the tab, you pull out the ring, which is done up in black, and you see some of that Nike branding on the inside, that Nike Sakai branding on the inside. Inside that tissue paper, each shoe is wrapped individually in their own tissue sheets, revealing that LD Waffle. I'm gonna be honest, guys, out of all the LD Waffle colorways released, I think this one is it. This is the best one. Fun fact, if you didn't know, the LD Waffles are actually based off of that retro Nike Tailwind shoe that is making a resurgence as of recent. Looking at the upper of the shoe, you will see Chitose Abe's expertise in pattern making all over this shoe. She has a doubling up effect going on all over. Prominent and in your face, you have those doubled up Nike swooshes, one in white and one in a black leather. For the suede panels, we have some black and gray going on, where that is done at the toe box area of the shoe, the heel cup, and at the lacing system. Again, both the lateral and the medial sections of the shoe are identical. Now, the upper of the shoe is mainly comprised of a dark gray loose gauge mesh material. Now, the diameter of these mesh holes are pretty wide, thus enabling people to peer in to see what kind of socks that you're wearing, what color socks that you are wearing. So definitely, you have to be conscious of the socks that you're wearing that particular day when you're wearing this shoe. And I really like that aspect about this shoe. It makes the shoe a little bit more versatile, wearing different color socks, giving it different styling. It's just a cool effect. We've already talked about the doubled up lacing panels. Now, removing this shoe directly from the box, it comes fully laced, which I actually like. Now, it's not done up in your traditional sense where you have one single lace. It's actually feeding two laces in one hole, and it's done up in two different colors. You have a white lace and a black lace, both of a flat shape and a cotton build. While I do enjoy this doubled up lacing feature, I also love the fact that they included a third set of laces done up in a gray color, a flat shape, and that same cotton build. Now, even though I have those gray laces, I probably will never put them on this shoe because it just seems like it's going to be time consuming to take off all of these laces and then try to feed two of these laces through one hole. I just don't want, I'm lazy, y'all. Also, of all the probabilities of the color combinations, I think the black and white one is going to be the best one. Behind those sets of laces, more doubling up occurs, and that is going to be featured on these nylon tongues back here. So you have one tongue right here, and then you have another tongue right here. This is done up in a black color, and both feature a white woven label with Nike branding atop the tongue. The front tongue features Nike sportswear with the orange swoosh, and the other one Nike Sakai branding. Now, moving to the heel, we talked about the heel cup a little bit earlier. Above that is the heel tab, done up in a white leather material, and featured smack dab in the middle is that Nike Sakai branding done up in dark gray. Moving into the inside of the shoe, it is of a light gray color and a cotton build, and it is lightly padded on the lateral, the medial, and the heel of the shoe. Doesn't provide a lot of cushioning towards the ankle. Matching the lining and color, the insole is done in that light gray color and placed upon a thin piece of gray foam. At the heel of the shoe, you'll see some of that Nike Sakai branding in orange. The midsole of the Nike Sacai LD Waffles, this is the selling point of the shoe because of that protruding or that extending midsole right there. This is why people love this shoe, and honestly, I don't really care too much for it. Look, I'm not saying that it doesn't look cool. It definitely looks cool, but if I'm going to be honest, it's not that comfortable. And if you're going to wear this a lot, it's going to break down really easily. Again, it's a really cheap EVA foam. If I'm going to wear something that's uncomfortable, I definitely want it to look cool. Not saying that this doesn't look cool, but I definitely think that the undercover daybreak shoes are a way better shoes that people are just sleeping on. Shots fired. And this is where people downvote. Hear me out, the LD Waffles are cool, but the Daybreaks just look so much more cooler, especially with that Gundam looking wing at the back heel. It just looks so much better. Because this is more of a limited shoe and the Daybreaks were widely released, I know that's why a lot of y'all are gravitating towards this shoe, because that exclusivity. Y'all buy into it. I get it. What were we talking about again? The midsole. The midsole is outlined in this white color all around the shoe. And again, it is done up in that cheap EVA foam. And playing into that doubling up effect, you see two different soles. You have the sole right here, and then you have that protruding sole. The outsole of this shoe takes inspiration from the Bowerman series of shoe, where you have that waffle design or that grid marking where these cubes are protruding out. And this is done in a black blown rubber to enable flexibility as well as durability. Sizing, normally I'm rocking a size 8.5 or a 9 US, 8.5 being my true to size, and I did get an 8.5 on this Nike Sacai LD Waffle, and I will say that the length feels fine. I do have a little space at the top of the toe box area, but the width of the shoe, it feels pretty narrow, and I'm not too sure if this nylon meshing material and the suede panels will give. In terms of comfort, again, the midsole is done up in a cheap EVA foam. Over time, this EVA foam is going to break down and the shoe is going to feel even less comfortable than it is already. Also, if you're a person that needs support in the arch area or a stability block, this is definitely not the shoe for you. And I'm not faulting Nike for this because this is a lifestyle shoe, but I'm just letting you know that this is not it. So I'm going to put in an aftermarket insole from SoftSole, which you can find the link down in the description below. I will give some positive points in the comfort category to Nike and Sakai for employing that loose gauge mesh material, because it just makes a shoe so much more breathable than your typical running shoe or lifestyle shoe. Overall, this collaborative effort from Nike and Sakai on this LD Waffle shoe is a well-welcomed one. It's a great looking shoe. At the $160 retail price point, you are getting a cool designer shoe, and being that it is made by Chitose Abe, you're getting her expertise of that pattern cut, pattern making design on the shoe, and it is represented very well on this shoe. Again, I think it is really crazy to see that the resale on this shoe is just skyrocketing like crazy. I just want to know what it's going to look like come Monday or Tuesday when people start receiving their pairs, where these prices on resale sit at. Also, I think it would be really cool to know how limited these shoes were in each of the colorways released in the third quarter. And I say that because, honestly, I really do think that the Undercover Daybreak shoes, although those were more released, there were more pairs of those, I think that was the better designed shoe, and that's not performing very well in the resale market. Seriously, it's that Gundam wing at the heel of the shoe. I just love that Gundam wing. Let's be real, if both had the same limited amount of pairs, which one would you buy? Alright guys, I think this is a good stopping point for this video. What do you think about this cool looking shoe from that collaborative effort between Nike and Sakai, the LD Waffles? Is it a good pickup, a bad pickup? Which colorway of all the LD Waffles do you think is the best? Let me know down in the comments below. Go and check out my Instagram, Chris Catalunya with the underscore at the end. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a new video. And again, we are hitting it close to that 10,000 subscriber mark here on this YouTube channel. Thank you for your support. If you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Alright guys, I am Chris Catalunya, and we will check you next time. Cheers. Sige na.